Now we will see list operations. Like we can do different operations like concatenation, repetition, and then we can check the membership, iteration, all in the list. Okay. So first of all, I have declared a list L is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then for the repetition, what I need to write L star 2 means it will repeat L contained 2 times. So L have 1 to 6 and then again comma 1 to 6. So we can repeat the elements of the list multiple times. Okay. Second thing, we will do the concatenation. In the concatenation, we can concat two lists. Like this is L. Now I'll define two more lists. L1 is equal to suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then L2 we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then we can concatenate L1 plus L2. And you can see first L1 elements and then L2 element. Okay. Now we will check the membership. It returns true if a particular item exists in a particular list. Otherwise it will return false. So we can write like print 2 in L1. This is true. And like we can write one more statement, print 2 in L2, then it is false. Next come to the iteration. We can use the loop here to iterating over the list items. Like we have a list L1, we want to iterate every element of L1. So 4 I in L1 and then you can print I. You can see L1 have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will print first element 1, second element, third element, fourth and fifth element. You can write here in place of L1, L2 and you can see L2 have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 elements. Okay. So this I variable will iterate over the elements of the list and contains each element in each iteration. Now you can calculate the length of a list. How to calculate length of list? We have length function. Length of L1. So length of list we have 5 because length is very important. When we will do some operation over the list, we need length sometimes. Okay. So length of L1 is equal to 5 means we have 5 elements. We can write a iteration loop like this also. 4I in range 0 to length of L1. Length of L1 I'll store into len variable. Okay. So 0 to len and then we can print L of I. Okay. So L of I will print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or in place of L we can write L2. Then you can see 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And now I just want to tell you how to take user input in the list. Here we have predefined list items. We have fixed the list items. Now I just want to take the user input in the list item. So what we will do, we will declare a empty list initially. L is equal to empty list. Now we need to enter the number of elements by a user. Okay. So here we will take n is equal to and number should be integer int and then we will pass through the input function. Enter the number of elements. Okay. It will ask user input a number. It will prompt the cursor to put a user input for the number of elements. Now we will take a for loop for I in range 0 to n. Number of elements. N is number of elements. Now we will take a user input. So A is equal to input, enter the item. Now we need to add this item to the list. So L is empty. L dot, there is a function called append. Append will add the elements to the list. So append A. We are taking a user input in a variable called A, and then we appending this A to the L. After completion of this loop, we will print list. So enter the number of elements in the list. Suppose I'm taking here 6. I have to enter the element. So here I'm taking the elements 100 and then 200 and then 300, 400, 500 and 600. So now my list have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 and 600. Even you can print L inside the loop also. And you can see this output. Like initially we have entered n value is 6, and then it will ask user to enter the element value. So element value we have entered 100, and this 100 is appended to the list L, and now our list is having the value 100 only. Then again this loop will run, and this time the user enters the value 200, and 200 would be appended to the existing L list. So L have only the 100 value item. Now it will add one more item, 200. Okay. Similarly, we can enter as many elements we want in a list, and we can remove the elements from the list also. Like we can use the remove function. How to remove an element? We can write like L dot remove, and inside the remove I need to pass the value of element. Like here we are passing 200, and after this we will print L. Yes, you can see error is occurred. X is not in list. Actually my elements are in the form of a string, so I need to give in the form of string only. I have not converted to the integer. If I want the integer input from the user, then I need to convert this input to the integer int, and then inside the bracket I need to put input, enter the item, like we have done in number of elements. Similar thing we have to do in element value also. So here I'm removing L.remove 200. Now I can run this again, and you can see the new list 100, 300, 400, 500 and 600. Our 200 value is removed. And we can also update the list value. Like in place of 300, I just want to put hello. So I can write this L of 1. You can print L of 1 is 300, and in place of L of 1, I just want to put the value hello. And then I'll print L. You can see in place of 300, we have replaced 300 by the hello. So we can update the values, we can add the elements, or we can remove the elements. Like I just want to add one more element called go edu hub. So how can I add? L.append. Append is a function to add the elements. Okay. Append word. And you can print L, and you can see this word would be appended at the last. So these are the some operations over the list.